to expand on the latest from Iran. In addition to the vows of vengeance from terrorist General Soleimani, the Washington Times reports that Iran's President Hassan Rouhani has issued a death threat against President Trump. For more, we are joined by Amir Fakhrآور. He is the Senate chairman of the National Iranian Congress. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us. So talk to us a little bit about the motivations behind Iran and the timing of this threat against President Trump.
Thank you, Joe, for having me. About Iran's motivation, it's look at last 42 years. That's part of their existence, the Iranian mullahs. Death to America was their slogan. And then when the revolution happened in 1979, first they went to attack the U.S. embassy because all have been orchestrated by Russian KGB. But this is the nature of Iranian mullahs. Then later, when the Quds force started all the terrorist attacks and acted as a gang, international gang, or let's call it international cartel, Qasem Soleimani, as the head of Quds force, was not just a regular army general. He was the head of cartel to do human trafficking, woman trafficking, even little girl trafficking, which you can find it in United Nations report during last 4 years. Ivanka Trump have done a great job to follow that case, to show to the world that how Iranian Revolutionary Guard is involved in drug trafficking, gun trafficking, terrorism. And Qasem Soleimani was the CEO of international terror organization called Quds Force. Even it's not their job to just kill Americans in Iraq or kill the foreigners. Last year, this time in Iran, Qasem Soleimani hired several terrorists. Just listen to it and think about it. He built up the group called Fatemiyun. Some refugees from Afghanistan have been in Iran. Qasem Soleimani recruited them, 25,000 Afghanis. Right. It's called Fatemiyun. And then from Pakistan, they recruited some refugees called Zainabiyun. And in Iraq, they recruited some terrorists called Hashd al-Shabi. From Yemen, Houthi. From Hezbollah, from Lebanon, Hezbollah. All these terrorists have been working under Qasem Soleimani's command to kill everybody in the Middle East, kill Americans, and also kill Iranians. They killed 1,500 Iranian kids in the street with snipers last year with the direct order of Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. Look what a mess Qasem Soleimani made in the world, and that was the best act ever by President Donald J. Trump to kill Qasem Soleimani as the worst terrorist ever in human history.
Now, you talk about the efforts that the Trump administration has made in the Middle East, predominantly talking about the peace deal they were able to broker with UAE and Israel, normalizing relationships with Israel. Talk to us a little bit about that, but also now contrasting that with, again, the continual threat in Iran. Iraq was hit by the U.S. Embassy in Iraq hit by rockets last week. So what are the things that we can do to make sure that we don't lose momentum with the work that the administration has already done to secure peace in that region?
Honestly, it's unbelievable. The work of President Trump's administration in Middle East, specifically the peace deal. Nobody could believe such a thing will happen. Even I have seen some interviews by Biden when he was saying, oh, it's impossible to see one day Israel and the Arab nations, they will be friends, they come together. Oh, it's happening. And it's all happened because of President Trump. He did a great job. And right now, the regime is afraid because regime couldn't believe that too. Regime couldn't believe one day all Arab nations neighboring Iran, they are going to be great friend and allies with Israel, which the entire ideology of Islamic Republic of Iran is under attack right now by this deal. And that's the reason right now everybody, they want to see what regime want to do at the first anniversary of killing of Qasem Soleimani, because for 1 year, regime said, we are going to attack. We are going to attack. They couldn't really attack, and they are very afraid to kill any single Americans because they know President Trump is not Obama. President Trump is not Biden. When President Trump said, don't do it, Khamenei, they know they should be afraid. And right now, it's panic over there. And hopefully, you know, let me tell you something. I'm doing my live, very popular live Instagram show every day with Iranians, talking with them. Last night, I have been asking Iranians, what's your hope for the new year? You won't believe it. They had two hopes. Everybody. They said, we wish President Trump will start his second term in January 21st. And they love President Trump, millions of Iranians. And also, they said, we wish President Trump can help us to see Iran free and democratic, free of the mullahs, because we are suffering under the mullahs a lot more than anybody else in the planet.
All right. We'll have to leave it there. Amir, thank you so much for joining us. Happy having a blessed new year. We'll talk to you soon.
Happy New Year.
Well, coming up, we get the very latest.